Hi, I'm Jessica here at Nautilus Mission Control at the Inner Space Center in Rhode Island. And we're joined today by the Chief Scientist for Leg 4 of the expedition, Steve Carey. He's currently in the studio on the Nautilus right now. So welcome, Steve. Thank you so much for joining us. And I wanted to start off, it's the first day of Leg 4 of the expedition. We're off the coast of Sicily. And why are we in this area and why is it scientifically interesting?
Hi, Jessica. It's nice to be with you tonight. We are currently going to be exploring the area north of Sicily. It's one of the areas that's known as the subduction zone in the Mediterranean. This is an area where two of the great crustal plates in the Mediterranean are merging together and one is going underneath the other. And when that happens, we generate volcanoes and volcanic activity, much like the rim of fire in the Pacific Ocean. So there's a number of volcanoes in this area. Stromboli is a very famous subaerial volcano, but there's a number of submarine volcanoes that haven't really been looked at in much detail. So those are the targets for our exploration on this next leg.
And on this leg, are we going to any places that no one has ever explored before?
That's correct. There's at least 3 or 4 of the submarine volcanoes that have never been visited by an ROV. Some of them have had a few samples taken on them, but this will be the first time that we actually go down and see what the structure and the volcanic rocks look like on the seafloor. So it's going to be a really exciting cruise. We're going to get to see a lot of things that have never really been seen before.
Very exciting. And what are your main research goals for the leg?
Our main research goals for this leg is really to look in detail at these submarine volcanoes to learn about their structure and their activity. So very little is known about these volcanoes. One thing we're interested in is how recently have they erupted. So by going down with Hercules, we should be able to get information about whether there's been a recent eruption on these volcanoes. We also are interested in what kind of magma is coming out of these different kinds of volcanoes, and also whether there's hydrothermal circulation. This is when seawater percolates down into hot rocks and comes back to the seafloor as hydrothermal vents. So we have some indication, there's some evidence that there is this type of hydrothermal venting occurring in this area. So we're going to see if we can find it with Hercules.
And are we going to take any water, gas, or geologic samples? And if we do, what would we be looking for with those?
With Hercules, we hope to collect a lot of volcanic rocks. In fact, I'm very excited because on Hercules, we now have this giant hydraulic rock crusher on one of the ROV arms. This is like a hydraulic hammer drill that will allow us to break off pieces of hard rock that we weren't able to sample on other cruises. So we'll be sampling some of the lava flows on the seafloor. If there's hydrothermal venting, we'll be taking water samples of the hot fluids that are coming out of the seafloor. And if there are gases, then we also have devices for sampling the gases as well. And all of these samples will help us understand how the volcanoes are behaving and perhaps what they might do in the future.
Well, it all sounds extremely exciting. Thank you so much, Steve, for taking the time to talk to us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Again, I'm Jessica here at Nautilus Mission Control. Stay tuned at nautiluslive.org. And now back to the action on the ship.